I do a lot of research in my spare time, and I usually don't bring up like specific numbers or specific percentages. I usually just bring up general details, but those are based off of research. Those are not facts that are just thrown around from hearsay from Fox News or a certain candidate. These are things that are researched and then explained slash paraphrased. So I did a lot of research. So so I went to the UN, and there was this committee eco thing that interested me a lot. Obviously, I wasn't involved in it. I was involved in dissect, but I discussed trade, and I realized that I really, really don't know the differences between trade policy, the differences in trade policy between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. So I researched it, and I came up with my own trade policy. And this has to do with general economic policy as well. Also related, and I'll tie this all back together. You'll see where all the puzzle pieces fit. Um, there was an article that I saw today that said the GOP tax cut is already unraveling. Now, number one, based on what you say that, like, GDP was at 2.5%, that's higher than it's been before. Wage growth is at 2.9%, that's higher than it's been before. What we've got to understand is that all these gains are very modest gains. They're large in like the scheme of things when you look at where you based on previous accounts, where do you expect them to be? But in terms of the general population, I don't know how far these statistics are true, but apparently 38% of the population in the United States makes $20,000 or less. Now, I can't believe that to be true, but I if that is true, then these gains are very modest and pretty non-substantial, for lack of a better term, in terms of like the overall scheme of someone's economics, right? Like if someone makes $20,000 a year, right, their wage growth is 2.9%. That's $290 more in their bank account. 290. That is not the type of wage growth that's really going to help a family that makes that kind of money. So, of course, those numbers don't help, right? And then you're talking about how a majority of that tax cut is going to large businesses and profits in terms of corporate profits. Now, taxing those corporate profits is useless because you're either going to give people handouts for not working, which is utterly ridiculous. It doesn't evolve anything. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't, just in terms of general economic health and status in the world, if you're giving payments to people by taxing corporations, that's just that doesn't help in general long-term steady economic development. However, and I will bring up trade later in this, after doing some research, right, in order to truly do something for the middle class in terms of wage increases, and there's a large majority that don't make very much money or are in the middle class. There's a very small minority that make a good sum of money. So if you want to help the very large minority have very substantial gains, right, you need tons and tons of investment capital. What I mean by that is trillions, not just 1 trillion, 10 trillion or more at the least, to get some type of wage development, career development, opportunity into the United States. And it has been proven through time. Let's look at FDR, right? The reason we were able to get out of the Great Depression is because investment capital existed. The reason we were able to grow the economy during the Bill Clinton years was by having a balanced budget, by making welfare a more job centric, right? That opened up funding, that opened up investment capital, along with cutting the capital gains tax. Opened up investment capital for companies to use to advance their business and to grow wages among lots of middle class workers. You need investment capital, okay, and innovation to grow an economy to help workforces. You need that. Democrats have proven it. Ronald Reagan Republicans have proven it. Right? You need investment capital. And if you look at it, the only reason Roosevelt was able to find investment capital under a liberal-esque way was because the debt was so low during that time that he was able to incur more debt because the debt was so low during his presidency. But meanwhile, the point is, you need investment capital to grow innovation, jobs, and wages. In order to have ample business capital, right, you need to incentivize companies and banks, more importantly, to bring money from overseas. Because that's going to bring you, instead of one, maximum 2 from corporate tax cuts, that's going to bring you 5 times as much that isn't even flowing into our economy. Right? And it's going to come not only from businesses, but it's going to come from people that actually have capital, which can spur job creation and wage growth.